Real Madrid 3, Barcelona 2. They are now 11 points clear at the top of the table. Nobody is catching Real Madrid.
It's over.
Pretty much home and hose. Remember, that's pretty much 12 points as well, because it's head-to-head and not goal difference that separates these two teams in Spain. Right, there's so many different talking points to discuss from this Clásico. For more, let's welcome in, shall we, from our watch party, where I imagine it's Real Madrid fans who are left, the Barcelona fans left early. And Patrick Kluivert joins us, as does Luis Garcia. Patrick, a great Clásico, but in the end it's Bellingham as it was, as we saw in Barcelona earlier this season, who proves to be the winner.
Yes, I think that the overall of the game, it was a fantastic game. You know, both teams are playing well. Both teams are pressing high. It was very attractive to watch the game, and at the end, of course, the quality of Jude Bellingham showed again. I have my doubts also with kind of decisions of the referee, but it's always easy to say it after the game.
Yeah, most definitely. I think Barcelona fans will question some of the officiating, question LaLiga in general as to why there is not goal line technology to give us a definitive answer on this. But Barcelona...
That's not the officials' fault.
No, I'm not.
The officials have to do what they were able to do today, and that is they made a decision in lifetime, which was no goal, and then there was nothing conclusive.
Well, they certainly didn't lose La Liga today, right? If you want to look at this as the fact that we don't have goal line technology, that keeps Lamine Yamal from scoring, and maybe that keeps Barcelona from winning today, maybe you can have that argument, maybe you can have that conversation. But in terms of the totality of the performance of Barcelona this season, there's been an upturn because over the last 6 weeks, they've managed to defend somewhat properly. If you go back to the earlier part of the season and the sort of goals that they were allowing and the sort of games that they were giving away, that's where you lost the league. That's why this became a desperate situation and a desperate moment in which you needed to win the game, which, by the way, they didn't show enough desperation in the last 10 minutes or so to get after the win, to go and get it. They weren't chasing it nearly as much as Real Madrid were chasing the game. So when I look at Barcelona, you can complain about this if you so desire, but if you look at the big picture, you know full well that you fell short of the expectations a long time ago.
On top of that, he gave a penalty away, João Cancelo, in Paris, and you could argue he was culpable for Cubarsí having to make a decision with his poor defender on this one. So these weak points of the Barcelona defence and his lack of ability to get himself in good defensive areas and make good defensive decisions is ultimately cost this side. Not only today, but midweek.
But the embarrassing part is that it's one thing if you're late to the challenge. It's one thing if you react late. But what's really, truly embarrassing about the defending, or lack thereof, from João Cancelo, is that he doesn't even know. Right. He doesn't even know or realize that Lucas Vázquez is there. Lucas Vázquez finishes the challenge, and he's like, oh, well, where did he come from? That's your responsibility. Any defender, any player who has played the left-back position would know that, first of all, your body position has to be such that you got to be aware of the guy coming from the outside. And he's surprised. How does that happen at this level and for a guy of this experience? So it's not even, to me, it's just lack of concentration, unwillingness to defend, and unawareness of what's going on around you. And that's irresponsible.
And Luis, what's got to really frustrate Xavi is the fact that you twice got the lead at the Santiago Bernabeu against Real Madrid, and then you not only let that lead slip, you let them get that late winner.
Yeah, and you know that when you play against Real Madrid much more at the Bernabeu, it doesn't matter if you are going ahead 1-0, 2-0, because in the end, Real Madrid managed to get back, to make a comeback, to push until the last minute, and because that's the way they've been doing the things for the whole history. They got that kind of mentality to never give up, to always do whatever it takes to try and fight it until the last minute. And of course, it's going to be frustrated. But again, and I don't want to recall it again, I think he must be very, very frustrated about the situation for Cancelo. Then I'm sure that is not the moment to complain about a player, to point him. But they cost that kind of plays cost you the Champions League to don't going through. I'm sure of that. If you don't concede the first goal of Dembele the other day because of his lack of awareness, I'm sure the Barcelona could have go further with more confidence. And today, once again, when you are dominating, you are having the patience, you are having the ball, you are creating chances, the players who you have made involved with Pedri, with Fermin, with Ferran Torres are working, then sometimes it's not easy to, in this kind of intense games of ins and outs, going forward and going backwards. And you managed to do all that, and because one mistake, big mistake in your area, you threw everything, the work of everyone, away because of the lack of concentration. And I think that's a massive, massive mistake that needs to be addressed, and hopefully we don't see it, because today it was the 3 points, but we've seen so many mistakes like this one during the year, but because the quality of the players that they were playing against, they were not as accurate to capitalize in the chances. But this chance, we've seen it so many times this season.